Iqbal, From Finite to Infinite by Moinuddin Aqeel. Nationalism has manifested itself in the modern world as a concept of secular society. The separation of religion from politics in the Western countries had made religion a thing of secondary importance. Importance was attached to linguistic and racial unity, and this damaged the concept of universal brotherhood, and the world was divided into small and conflicting units. The same concept came to the Muslim world, and as a result, the Islamic countries were caught by the attractive slogans of individual and national liberty and progress. The Arabs, who had witnessed a political downfall after the golden period of Abbasids, took the inclusion of the Arab territories into the Ottoman Empire as compensation. For about 400 years, these territories remained as part of the Ottoman Empire. But in the last quarter of 19th century, some Ottoman Arab thinkers started expressing the view that the Turks have no right to rule the Arabs. Muhammad Ali started a movement of liberating Arab provinces from the Turkish control and establishing an Arab state. But the movement failed because the Arabs themselves were not in the favor. After 1882, when Britain had captured Egypt, the Egyptians were against the British domination more than the Arabs' subjugation to the Turks. The Arabs had a feeling of being something different from the Turks, and being Arabs had a sense of superiority and individuality, and were proud that the divine guidance was provided in Arabic through an Arab prophet. Arab nationalism was also a reaction against the prolonged political dominance of the Turks. After the disintegration of the Ottoman Empire in 1920, the European powers created many Arab states and thus encouraged a regional separation among them. It is a fact that the concept of Turkish nationalism mostly harmed Turkey itself. One such occurrence was the Armenian Rebellion in 1914. Another was the Arab revolt against the Turks and their support to the Allied powers during the World War I. Therefore, Mustafa Kemal and his companions adopted the slogan of Turkey for the Turks only. In his student life, Allama Iqbal was a nationalist, and his poems Tarana-e-Hindi, Hindustani Bachon Ka Qaumi Geet, and Naya Shivala, written during the period, represent this tendency. During his stay in Europe from 1905 to 1908, there had been a drastic change in his thought and mind. But the greatest revolution has taken place in his concept of nationalism. He began to think that the concept of nationalism was the greatest enemy of Islam and the Muslims. Now Allama Iqbal started saying, "Ye बुत के तराशीदा तहजीब नवी है, गारत गर काशाना दीन नबवी है, नज़ारे देरीना ज़माने को दिखा दे, ऐ मुस्तफ़वी खाक में इस बुत को मिला दे, इन ताज़ा खुदाओं में बड़ा सबसे वतन है, जो पैराहन इसका है वो मजहब का कफन है, अक़वाम में मखलूक खुदा बढ़ती है इससे, कौमियत इस्लाम की जड़ कटती है इससे." The unity of Ummah depend on the fact that they should firmly hold on to the religious principles. According to Iqbal, the Western concept of nationalism is material in essence, whereas Islam builds up a singular and unique concept of nationalism which is based on religion. Love of homeland is a natural emotion which needs no nurturing or encouragement. When homeland is used as a political concept, it comes into clash with Islam. It gave Allama Iqbal much pain to see that the concept of homeland was also becoming prevalent among the ulama. According to Allama Iqbal, the concepts of nation and homeland had entangled the Muslim into making discrimination of the basis of blood and race. Iqbal believed that the problem of nationalism was more dangerous, particularly for the Muslims in India. In fact, the greatest enemy of Islam, or rather the humanity at large, was the belief in color and race. जो करेगा इम्तियाज़ रंगो खून मिट जाएगा. Iqbal had realized that the idea of nationalism based on race and geographical boundaries was becoming dominant and prevalent in the Islamic world, under the influence of Western thinking, and that the Muslims, ignoring the goals of universal brotherhood, were falling an easy prey. हिकमत मगरिब से मिल्लत की ये कैफियत हुई, टुकड़े टुकड़े जिस तरह सोने को कर देता है गाज. At various places, Iqbal mentioned the dangers confronting Islam in India. Islam is going to face a very critical time in India. Apart from the protection of their political rights and Muslim culture, the very existence of Islam is at stake. Had the whole history of the rise and fall of the Arabs before him. He knew about their movements of separatism, nationality and nationalism, and he was sorry about the harmful effects of these movements upon the national life of the Arabs. Once they were a millat, but now they were divided into various groups. आबरू बाकी तेरी मिल्लत की जमीयत से थी, जब ये जमीयत गई दुनिया में रुसवा तू हुआ. फर्द कायम रब्ते मिल्लत से है, तन्हा कुछ नहीं. मौज है दरिया में और बैरून दरिया कुछ नहीं. Although Iqbal was against regional nationalism, yet he considered patriotism as a part of the faith and a country to be necessary for the survival of Islamic culture.